Hey there. Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about adding fractions. So there's a few things that we need to make sure that get taken care of as we get ready to add or subtract fractions. So when we add fractions, first thing we need to do is find a common denominator, which means I need to find the LCM, or the least common multiple, between those two denominators. Okay, then we're going to convert the original fractions into equivalent fractions that have a common denominator. Then we'll combine the numerators. Obviously, the denominator moves over, and then we simplify if needed. So let's look at our first example, 2/3 plus 1/6. So as I look at that, I'm looking for a least common multiple between 3 and 6. So my 3 and my 6, I list them out, 3, 6, 6. Okay, so we know that 6 is my common denominator. And I know that one was really easy. They'll get a little more difficult as we go. So in this particular occasion, this one already has a 6. The right fraction does. The left fraction doesn't is not a 6. So we're going to multiply it. To get from 3 to 6, I multiply by 2. So whatever I multiply the bottom by, I also multiply the top by. We do this because the fraction I'm multiplying by, 2 over 2, has a value of 1. And you know that anytime we multiply something by 1, it doesn't change the value of that particular number. So 2 times 2 gives me 4. 2 times 3 gives me 6. Plus, we didn't change this fraction, so that's 1 over 6. So combining my tops, 4 plus 1 gives me 5 over 6. Now, 5 over 6 is as simplified as it can be, so we don't have to worry about simplifying that particular fraction. So now I look at my next problem, 3/5 plus 5 over 6. Finding my common denominator, I have my 5 and 6's, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and we have 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So we have 30 as my common denominator. So the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to multiply this one by 6 over 6. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to multiply this by 5 over 5 so that I can find my common denominator, and I'm currently converting to equivalent fractions. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 5, it gives me 30, plus 5 times 5, which is 25, and 6 times 5, which gives me 30. So now again, we talk about combining our numerators. So 16 plus 25 gives me 41 over 30. And that can't be simplified. You could convert it into a mixed number. 30 goes into 41 one full time, and there are 11 left over out of 30. So either of these two answers would typically be an acceptable response. As we move to our third example, 1/3 plus 3/4. Two common fractions that we run into quite a bit, but we need to figure out exactly how much they are combined. So my common denominators, we're looking for 3 and 4, my least common multiple. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 4, 8, 12. I don't need to go any further because I've noticed there's a 12 right there. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the fourth number. So we're going to multiply this one by 4 over 4. And on this side, it's the first, second, and third numbers. So we are multiplying this one by 3 over 3. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 times 3, which is 9. And 4 times 3, which is 12. So 4 12ths plus 9 12ths. 4 plus 9 is going to give me 13 over 12, which if I converted it to an or to a mixed number like I did earlier, I can convert it to 12 goes into 13 one full time with 1 left over. So again, either of those answers would be acceptable. Our final example being 3/7 plus 1/4. One of them is not a very common fraction, but we will go ahead and find these out. So we have the 7 and the 4. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Oh, we have a common number. 28 would be our common number. Now over here is the 1, 2, 3, fourth number. So we multiply by 4 over 4. And this one is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh number. So we're going to multiply by 7 over 7. 4 times 3 gives me 12. 4 times 7 gives me 28. Plus 1 times 7, which is 7. 4 times 7 is 28. So combining my numerators, 12 plus 7 gives me 19 over 28. And that is a fraction that cannot be simplified, so we're going to leave it as our final answer. So again, find your common denominator, convert everything into equivalent fractions with the same denominator, with the common denominators, combine your numerators, and simplify if needed. Thank you.